Not scandalous, but marvelous, not frivolous, purposeful and courageous, in fact, miraculous. As I walk in my green, don't matter if I'm seen, don't matter, protecting my health, keeping tabs on my wealth, reducing the stress, definitely, avoiding waste. Happy in my labor, just loving my neighbor. My spirit is calm. I have the balm, fostering great relationships. Drama and hate-filled slips. Emotions I carefully handle. No more mashing up like a vandal. My transformation is not automatic. It's from inside out. Yes, that dramatic. It's my Heavenly Father's. He only wants the best for me. New brand you, new brand me. My transformation, your transformation. Not scandalous, but marvelous. Not frivolous, but purposeful and courageous. In fact, miraculous. Thank you.
That's lovely.
And thank you so much. Imagine that. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Veronica. Not frivolous, marvelous. I just love that. And your poetry speaks to many people. I've been on many stages with you, as you know, and your poetry speaks to many people. And I'm looking forward to what you are going to bring to us a little bit later as well. So, yeah, we're going to have that. But I'm thinking as well about, I'm thinking frivolous and marvelous, and I'm thinking about how when we are younger, we have opportunities to be frivolous and to play and to have fun and so on. But when that frivolity, when that fun is interrupted by abuse, by any form of trauma, then we can find ourselves, if we are not helped and supported through that experience, we find ourselves living a life of pain. We can find ourselves living a life of pain, sadness, stress, loss, and difficulty. And once again, I want to bring this back to Vivian all of the time. You have done something that, I know there have been other writers, but I know you. And you have, and we're here for you here today. And I love the fact that you have decided not to be frivolous, but marvelous, and bring your story to us. And your book has so much passion and so much honesty and so much truth in it. And there may be people who are going to be upset and don't agree with some of the things that you say there. You know what? There comes a point when you just have to do what you've got to do. And I love the fact that you've done that. because you've not done it with any intention to, with malice in your heart. You want to be free. And the only way we become free is by speaking out. That old story that I told you about my father telling us, my sister, my brother, myself, children should be seen on. He believed it. He meant it. He meant it. And if we spoke out of turn, or we spoke, I say out of turn, if we spoke with visitors came around, we just get, I think everyone knows this, the look. You know, and you just shut up. And you just go on like that throughout your life. I've been like that in relationships as well, and I know factually there are people, women in this room, and maybe there are people in this room who may have been through a similar experience. It's time to end that. Time to end that silence, end that invisibility. Get your book today. Those who don't have it, get your book today. It's here, and get reading. It's so important for us. And so, I'm moving into the next part of our program. And we're going to have a reading from the book. And I think this is just such a privilege. And for those who haven't yet got onto the book, I'm sure Vivian, I know the part that I want Vivian to read, but she probably won't at all, but you know, it doesn't matter. Because the whole book is wonderful. You talked a little while ago, Vivian, about shattered dreams. That chapter just hit me in its because there are things in there that there's no spoilers here. Just get them. I almost said it's not your job. Okay. So now I want to invite Vivian to share your book reading. I don't know how you're going to do it. Are you going to sit there and do it? Yeah? Okay. We're going to do a book reading. So we're privileged on that. We're privileged to have this. So, Vivian, over to you. Let's hear your words. Thank you.
Hi guys, once again. It's gonna be emotional, but I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna read 3 chapters of my book. So the first one is The Girl Who Built. I was only 3 years old when my mother died. I can't remember her smile. Can't remember how warm she felt when she held me. I can't remember what her perfume smelled like, or the sound of her voice. I was too little to understand what death, sadness, or loss meant. And because I was so young, no one ever really told me what happened. It felt like a secret in my family. Something heavy, painful, that no one wanted to talk about. My mother became almost invisible, like she had never been there at all. Like a ghost. I had no pictures of her, no stories about her. No one ever talked about her. It took me years to even realize that I had lost her. It wasn't because someone sat me down and told me the truth. But it's because of how I felt inside. I knew something was missing. I knew I was different from other kids. There was a deep sadness, a quiet confusion, and an empty feeling that I couldn't explain. But no one could or tell me why. Growing up, I had so many questions, but I kept them inside because it felt safe to be quiet. No one talked about my mother. No one said her name. It felt like her story had been buried, and I was supposed to move on. Families don't always realize how unfair that is to a child. When parents or other caregivers choose to be silent, when they hide the truth to protect the child, they are really leaving that child alone with their own confusion. From what I've been told about my mother, her name was Rosemary. She was beautiful, kind, and had the sweetest soul you could ever meet. Even as a child, I had learned to hide the pain and act. Like everything was okay. I had learned to survive without knowing what I was surviving. I also grew up without my father. He felt like a ghost too, like someone who never existed. No one talked about him. I didn't know his name until today. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know why he wasn't there. I was only young. I just knew both of my parents were gone long before I could even understand why. Losing a mother so young doesn't just mean losing a person. It means losing safety, comfort, and the one place in the world where love is supposed to be unconditional. And when that loss is kept secret, it hurts even more. It makes you feel like your pain doesn't matter. But even though I didn't know who my father was, I always wondered about him till today. I wondered who he was, what his name was, and if it was alive. That was the introduction of the girl who felt. Chapter 4, Part 2, Shattered Dreams, Grieving and Miscarriage and Rebuilding. There are moments in life that break you open in ways you never expected. Moments that change you forever. For me, those moments were losing my babies. The day I found out I had lost my first child, the world stood still. The doctors asked me to rest in a quiet room, and gentle offered for me to speak to a therapist. I couldn't. I didn't want to. My body felt numb. My soul felt empty. I walked out of that hospital in silence, carrying a pain so heavy that words could not hold it. That's the thing about trauma. It can steal your voice before you can realize it's gone. It's not just about being unable to speak. It's about feeling disconnected from your own emotions. It's like the words we need are trapped somewhere deep inside, just out of reach. I wanted to scream, to rage, to ask why. But all of that pain was silent. When I told my boyfriend what had happened, it seemed sad at first. He even came to me to the hospital a few days later when the baby had been medically removed. But that same evening, after the procedure, I was still breathing, still aching, still breathing. Boys will be boys. He had another girlfriend. I was tapped out of the room, and I had to stay with his friend upstairs. Just like that, I had nowhere to go. I was broken physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I had to tell someone how much it hurt. I wanted to tell someone how much it hurt, how lost and alone I felt, but the words couldn't come. It was like a demon had been built inside, blocking the flow of emotions and leaving me stranded in a sea of silence. Thankfully, one of his friends went upstairs to meet me and made sure I was safe for the night. But that night, I cried until I could no longer breathe. Losing my baby felt like punishment, as if I'd done something wrong. It became another one layered onto the ones I already carried from childhood. I still hadn't processed the loss of my mother, nor understood what growing up without a father had done to me. I thought leaving home could bring peace, but instead, the world revealed its harshness, and I wasn't prepared for it. There were moments I genuinely wondered if God had forgotten me. I tried to pray, but even those words felt hollow and empty. It was like I had lost my connection to everything, to myself, and to others, and even to God. After my first miscarriage, I became desperate to have another child. I told myself motherhood would kill me, that it would fill the emptiness inside me. I believed that having a baby would finally give me the love that I've been looking for and searching for my entire life. But now I understand the truth, that those desires came from a weak place, not a healed one. I didn't realize it then, but I was searching for something outside myself to fill the void. I was looking for love that could silence the pain, a purpose that could give my life meaning. But the truth is, I couldn't find those things until I found my voice. I entered another relationship soon after, and it was toxic, just like the first. I was still trying to find healing with broken people. I was still searching for love where none was. But that relationship ended. I met someone new and fell in love with me. Soon after, I was pregnant again. This time, it was a boy. I named him Malachi in my heart. At 5 months, I began to feel sharp pains and cracks, and my heart dropped. Deep down, I knew what was happening. When I went for a scan, the doctor confirmed I was feared. There was no heartbeat. Once again, my world shattered. This was the second child. This time I faced it completely alone. There was no one beside me, no hand to hold, no shoulder to cry on. It was just me. I told myself I didn't need anyone, that I was struggling. But the truth is, I wasn't. I was broken, and I was exhausted. This time the silence was heavy, even more suffocating. I felt like I was drowning in a sea of unspoken grief, with no one to throw me a lifeline. But deep down, a tiny spark of hope became to flicker. A whisper that said, you don't have to stay silent, you can find your voice, you can heal. What I didn't realize at that time was that I had begun to trauma bond with people and with my babies. I made them the answer to all of my pain. I made them my reason for living, my escape from loneliness and heartbreak I didn't want to face. I believed that if I could just become a mother, everything would finally make sense. Looking back now, I understand something I couldn't then. I don't believe God took my babies to punish me. I believe He was protecting me. He was showing me that healing and love cannot be built on pain. He wanted me to find love in him first, to discover my world outside of trauma. If I had become a mother during that season, I might have never found myself. I might have never have discovered my calling or stepped into the purpose waiting for me. After losing my second child, I entered a dark season. I lost hope in life and in myself. I was living in a small hostel room, surrounded by silence and pain. I remember sitting on my bed one night, staring at a bottle of bleach, and I had painkillers, and I was ready to die. I had enough. But in that moment, a still gentle voice whispered to me, Vivian, you don't need to give up. This is your opportunity to start again. You were created to help others heal. Your pain has helped us. Something shifted inside me. For the first time in years, I felt peace. I realized God had been with me all along, even in the moments I thought He had forgotten me. I'd grown up in church, but I never truly understood His role in my life. I knew His name, but I didn't know His love. That night, when I finally surrendered, I felt seen, loved, and chosen. I want you guys to reflect on a time when you felt silenced or unable to express yourself, like after your miscarriage. What was that experience like? And how did it affect you emotionally and physically? But also, I want you guys to think about moments when you sought healing or validation in external sources like relationships or motherhood. What were you hoping to find, and what did you learn about the importance of finding those things within yourself? Also, I want you to journal about the times you felt like you were being punished or forgotten by God, and how did those beliefs impact your faith and your sense of self-worth. Lastly, I want you guys to consider the moment you also thought about ending your life, and the gentle voice that whispered, you don't need to give up. What does that moment reveal about your inner strength and your capacity for hope even in the darkness? That is the second chapter, chapter 4, chapter 3. And I'm going to read the last one. Chapter 22, forgiveness and letting go. After exploring the ups and downs of healing, I realized that there was one piece of puzzle I needed to address: forgiveness. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but I never really understood what it meant or how or who do it. For me, it wasn't just about, for me, it was just one abstract. It was about facing the real raw pain of my past and finding a way to move forward. For so long, I held on to anger and resentment like they were precious jewels. I thought that if I let go of those feelings, I could be letting the one person off the hook, that I could be condemning their behavior. But what I didn't realize is that I was only hurting myself. The weight of all of the unforgiveness was crushing me, making it impossible to breathe and to live fully. Bitterness is like a poison that sits into your soul slowly and slowly eroding your happiness and your ability to connect with others. It's heavy weight to carry and it keeps you stuck in the past, unable to move forward. I know this firsthand because I carried that weight for so many years. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is like unlocking the chains that bind you to the past. It's not about saying what happened was okay or that the other person was right. It's about releasing yourself from the grip of anger and resentment so that you can finally be free. It's about choosing to no longer be defined by what happened to you, but by you choosing to be free. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's about choosing to let go of the pain so that you can create a better future. It's about reclaiming your power and taking control of your own mind. And in my life, there was so much to forgive. I had to forgive my father for rejecting me, for not being the dad I needed him to be, or for not being in my life. It was a long and painful process, but I eventually realized that his rejection wasn't about me. And it wasn't about me, but it was about him. I had to forgive my mother for dying and leaving me all alone because for many years I blamed and hated her for leaving me alone. It felt like the ultimate abandonment, but I eventually understood that she didn't choose to and that she loved me as much as she could. I had to forgive my uncle and his family for not loving me enough or in the way I needed to be loved. I had to accept that they had their own limitations and that their love was different than what I had hoped for. I had to forgive my pastor for not playing the father figure I needed him to be. I had to realize that he was just a man with his own flaws and imperfections. I had to forgive the church for the way they rejected me, for not seeing my value and potential. I had to understand that their rejection was a rejection of their own limitations and not my own. I had to forgive myself for my children dying at 5 months old. This was perhaps the hardest thing of all, to release myself from the guilt and the grief and to accept that there was nothing I could have done to prevent it. I had to forgive all of my exes who didn't respect, love, or cherish me the way I deserved to be loved. I had to realize that their ability to love me was about their own issues, not about my worthiness. And lastly, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself for blaming myself for my dad, my mom leaving me, for not loving myself enough, for all of the mistakes I had made along the way. Forgiving myself has been one of the most challenging, but one of the most rewarding parts of my healing journey. It's about acknowledging my mistakes, taking responsibility for my actions, and then choosing to let go of the self-blame. It's about recognizing that I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes and that is okay. It's about treating myself with the same compassion and understanding that I could offer to a friend. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It's a process, a journey that unfolds over time. There will be days when you feel like a progress. There will be days when you feel like you're right back where you started. And my question to you guys is, who do you need to forgive? What are you holding on to that is preventing you from forgiving? How can you start practicing self-compassion? What could it feel like to let go of the anger and the resentment? Remember, forgiveness is not about condemning the actions of others or excusing their behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of bitterness and resentment. It's about choosing to heal, to move forward, and to create a life filled with peace and joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. I don't know about you, Andy, but I feel after that sharing that I just need to take a look and let us just take a moment just to sit with ourselves, to sit with our feelings, just for a couple of minutes. Just for a couple of minutes, and we'll come back to you. Literally 2 minutes. I'm sorry if anything that was that Vivian shared with us has triggered anything for us, and if it has, then please come see me, talk to Veronica, just talk to someone in the room, okay? But, you know, there are times when you can't avoid being triggered by experiences that happen every day. You may go to the supermarket, see a picture that might trigger a memory. I'm triggered by dogs. I had a terrible experience. A dog jumped up on me and nearly fell over as a child. And I'm distressed. I get into stress when I'm too close to dogs. Now, that I'm triggered. So I realize that experiences that we have in our lives may be triggered by anything and anyone. So once again, I'm sorry if anyone feels triggered by the experience that Vivian shared with us. I think it's necessary. And thank you so much. In chapter 4 was the chapter that and I want to just say before we move on to our next piece of the program, I want to say that Vivian used the word broken, I think 4 times, which is that you may or may have missed it in the recorded book. She used it about 4 times, and she talks about how she was broken. She felt broken after several experiences. And she also talks about trauma and trauma bond. And I just want to just share with you briefly the meaning of trauma bond, because I think it's important for us to have an understanding of it. But before to have an first have an understanding, we're going to do something else. We're going to just do that. Trauma bond. Talks about what trauma is. It's the feeling that the experience can leave with us. So trauma bonding, as Vivian told us, trauma bonding is when you feel strongly attached to someone who hurts you, because the relationship cycles between pain and affection. The good moments make you stay, and the bad moments make you try harder. It can make you feel confused. It can make you confuse intensity with love. Trauma bond can make you excuse or minimize harmful behavior. It can make you feel like you can't leave even when you know you should. And you can become emotionally dependent on the person for relief from the pain they cause. Now to me that's a kind of madness. But if it's a kind of madness, I've been there. I am a mental health specialist and I've been mad many times. I've been to that place of madness many times in my relationships, staying in relationships that I just know they're not good for me, not doing me any good. And I want to encourage us as adults in this room here to think, when you buy this book, and I know everyone who hasn't got this book will buy it before they leave. And I want you to just take stock, think about yourself and your own experience. And if you are in a situation where you are trauma bonding, think about the impact that it can have on you, and think about whether that's a situation that you want to be in. We're adults, we make our own choices. But I think it's important that we think about these things. And thank you for sharing that with us. So, one thing I didn't do was read Vivian's biography. And you know what? I'm not going to read an awful lot of it because she's already told me she's an author. She's already given us a book reading. She's already told us that, well, if she hasn't, then some of us know she's a podcast host and she is the author of The Invisible Girl. And alongside her coaching work, she has supported women and young girls through workshops, confidence building programs, community projects, and previously founded the women's support organisation Safe Haven. I remember it well. Thank you. I'm sure you're going to bring that back at some point. Through her podcast and debut memoir, The Invisible Girl, she openly shares her journey of trauma, healing, resilience, and transformation. Well done, Thank you. Thank you. So now, we're going to really lift the mood. We're going to have some singing. Adelaide, are you ready? Okay, let me just tell you a bit about this is the chair about Adelaide. Well, I know it's her from her. I won't read the whole thing. South London born. Yep, South London born and bred. Adelaide was raised by Jamaican parents and grew up surrounded by reggae and soul music, which heavily influenced her musical journey from an early age. After studying at the Brit School of Performing Arts, Adelaide went on to release music through various independent labels. Adelaide, forgive me if I don't go through it all, I just want to tell the story. But you have performed at the renowned Jazz Cafe in Camden. You've worked with artists. You've received the Nina Simone Inspirational Artist of the Year award. Lucky woman. Her remarkable voice has opened doors to perform alongside and support world-renowned artists, including Alex Aswad. Frankie Beverly amazing. You never called me because?
Sorry.
You and I will definitely fall out after this. Iyanla Vanzant and Jean Kane, is it?
Jean Carm.
Jean Carm, sorry. She also featured on Noel Gallagher's album Who Built the Moon, released in 2017. I don't need to say very much more. Let's hear this.
Invisible girl, we hear you cry. Invisible girl, you shall live and not die. Invisible girl, you may have asked many questions. Why? Oh, why? But we know as you grow, you Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I dedicate this to the King of Kings. I'm sure you must have had to call upon him, and the Lord heard your cry. You are my amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. See, I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but thank God I see. where our disabilities can be visible to everyone. And there are demons that hurt our lives so that we won't become who we're supposed to become. Childhood adversity. Childhood adversity. It is a killer from the enemy. You are the head and not the tail, and your steps are ordered. That's why you will not fail. God is amazing, amazing. He's amazing, amazing, amazing. His grace. Let me hear say amazing, 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 amazing is His grace. Lord, you are amazing, 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 amazing is your grace. Amazing, amazing. Yes, you are. Lord, you are, you are. Hallelujah. I won't stay in front of you for too long. I'll just quickly sing another song because that was a plan, but I know we are behind the time. I've sang for Elijah Banta, I've sang for Terry McMillan, and now I'm singing for Vivian Maria. This is a song from my album to come, my next third album, and it's called Higher. Because sometimes we feel a bit low, right? I got to believe in me, I deserve it. I know I'm worth it. There are times I feel uncertain. I'm gonna stay determined and deal with life with the best of me. I can take it personally. I always thought I'd be the greatest. See, I got a deep sense of purpose to be higher than my thoughts, higher than my identity. Higher in this moment, so it don't mess up my energy. Higher to stay focused, higher to stay progress, higher because I'm never gonna settle down. See, I got to earth higher from my natural energy. I got to act higher, no matter what's trying to frustrate me, and be higher. I work with accountability and be higher. Even just being in the same room with someone who stands on the same stage as Frankie Beverly. I feel I was there myself, so I won't tell people I was on the same stage. I'll say that now. Of course, it's a total lie. Anyway, that was just so phenomenal.
We are phenomenal, thank you.
We
When you said, write down who you think you are, I wrote on it, it's here. I'm phenomenal. We are phenomenal. Thank you, Adelaide. As you said, we are running out of time. I do not know where time has gone. We do have another performance. I don't know if are you able to do yours? Your monologue? Okay then. Let's go with your monologue. Okay.
not a long one.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Okay, are
fine.
we okay with time?
Fine.
Okay, so.
Q&A.
No, I wasn't going to do this one, but this was requested. Vivian asked me for this one. Yeah. Last time. Okay, so this piece is entitled Let's Go. And I do the voices. Okay, so. Cora, honey, tie the shoelace. Yes, Mama. Brad, fix his shirt. I will, Daddy. Daddy, are we really going? Sure is, son. Ellen, come on, darling. We don't want to be late. Did you put that special lemonade in the picnic basket, Ellen? Quit asking, you know it, John. We're going to be thirsty. Let's go. John, Cora keeps having nightmares. I don't understand it. Brad tried to set fire to the Jones boy. Quit whining, woman. They'll get over it. With the fervor of a trip to Disneyland, parents took their children to see the lynching of a man. Nightmare. Reality. What are we saying? Trips are fine, right? Although blood and burning assails your sight. Like glee to trips to Disneyland taken. Many parents took their children to see the lynching of men. Reality. Let's go. Thank you.
And that's entertainment for you. Once upon a time, thank goodness it isn't the same. But that's, as you rightly say, that's a reality. So, thank you for sharing. And so now, as on swiftly, we have a Q&A. And Jasmine's going to facilitate that Q&A. And Claire and I are going to be part of that Q&A. I think it's going to be, now what have we got?
It's going to be shorter, so that makes it a lot easier for us, doesn't it? But now we're all friends and family, we will be continuing to review the book, and we will put those reviews on Amazon, and we will bring in those sales for our house, that is Vivian. And I don't need a mic, clearly. Do you want another mic? Do you want to use my mic as well?
Please.
Okay, so the invisible girl.
Why don't you use that one? That's what we need. I think
I don't need a mic.
No, I think that's fine. Yeah. But let's please.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
A little bit better on that one, is it not? Yeah? Okay. So, what I want us to spend the next, probably we're going to spend about 5, maybe 10 minutes discussing, because time is going, is I want to hear from the ladies. They've read Vivian's book multiple times, am I right? Yeah. So, they are well placed to share with you their thoughts on what they've gained and what they think you might gain from the book. So my first question, and I've rephrased this, Claire, so I'm hoping you'll like this rephrase, right? When you hear the phrase, the invisible girl, what does it evoke for you, personally or professionally? And I'll ask it to both of you, but there's a question that says that.
Now I think that's a harder question.
Oh, is it even harder?
You're all right. I didn't realise that I was invisible.
Ooh.
Really, and until I read the book, and I've known Vivian now sort of 2 years to the day, and I didn't realise how many similar experiences that we had had, but how we came through those experiences was very different, and perhaps I have experienced more trauma than I thought I had actually experienced. So I'm kind of walking around in an invisible bubble in that way, because no one from looking at me, speaking to me, hearing some of my confidence would have known that I had gone through those experiences. So yeah, I've gained a huge amount from the book. There was just one particular point that I wanted to sort of bring up on, because Vivian spoke about families not speaking about death, and I went through a similar experience, because in the introduction, and this is the bit that like caught me sort of straight away and was like, right, I'm invested. So I was only 3 years old when my mother died. I was only 2 years old when my father died. He was killed in a road traffic accident by a drunk driver.
Wow.
The smell, the touch, the sounds, I have no idea even to this day. But my experiences through that traumatic experience were very different, because my mother spoke about death a lot. So much so that I know that my mother didn't even get to see my father in hospital, because he died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. But I knew that from a really young age.
Yeah.
And those experiences around death that continue through, and I'm nearly 50 now, I became quite comfortable with. But that kind of shared identity that I had there, I literally wanted to leap into the book and grab up you as a little child and you know, bring my mother into the book that you know had lost the love of her life, and take you through a different journey, you know, a similar journey to that I had. And it was interesting, because I started to feel a little bit of guilt as I was going through. And initially, when I was reading the book, I'm placing Vivian not as Vivian, I'm placing her as almost like a character, because it was easier for me. But when I, you know, continued through the book and identified Vivian as Vivian and someone that I knew, I'm still on that journey of a little bit of guilt, like of perhaps very similar experiences that we've had, that I've had a different experience within that experience.
Wow, that's so deep. That's so deep. So you identified that you yourself actually felt quite invisible and were unaware, that you had a shared experience, but yours was handled quite differently. And actually that created a sense of guilt, to the point where you almost kind of depersonalized Vivian in the book, like, that's not really Vivian, it's just telling somebody else's story who I've never met. And then have gone back to now thinking, oh my God, this is actually her. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. And I'd like to ask you the same question, Hanifa. What does the phrase "the invisible girl," what does that mean to you? What does that evoke personally, professionally?
And so, for me, the invisible girl evokes the experience of two key things I want to share. The experience of many women who remain invisible from childhood, as I said earlier, from childhood into their adulthood and later life. And some never become seen, they feel. And so it evokes that memory. And in terms of a personal memory, I had polio as a child. So I was in hospital, I spent a long time in hospital. And I became known to the family and extended families as the one with the foot. They didn't have a name. They didn't have a name at all. They never could remember my name. When they called me my sister's name. They never. I would just not. Oh, the little one with the foot. Oh, yes, right. So that's how they knew me. So and because I was away from the family home, spent so long in hospital, I was kind of like invisibilized in the family as well. And when I came back after a long period in hospital and finally came back home, I was kind of like invisible to my siblings and to my parents. Because like, who is this kid? I was the youngest child anyway. Who is this kid? Who is she? We don't even know. My sister and my brother made me, I love them dearly. My dad, my brother, sadly passed away. I love them dearly, but you know, they put me through hell to be admitted into their little circle.
Wow.
They didn't see me. They didn't want to see me, I don't think. So, coming back to the story, The Invisible Girl, and what it is evoked for me is that sense of women in particular, but people in general, being invisibilized by the world for whatever reason. And until and unless we stand up and take our place in the sun, stand up and take our place and raise our voices. Just about 3 weeks ago, I did a TEDx talk. TEDx talk. I talked for the very first time publicly about having polio and what it meant for me, and I put it in poetry form. Many people didn't know I had polio at all. People didn't even know I had polio. Why would you? There we go. That's it. So I had the opportunity to stand on a platform and tell, and now it's on YouTube, wherever it is they get these things, on YouTube, and now it's there. I told the world I had polio. I was affected by it, impacted by it. I'm not standing in the shadows, I'm not going to be masked, I'm not going to be silenced, I'm not the invisible one anymore, the invisible girl anymore. On my 2 feet.
10 toes down.
Thank you so much.
I love that. So yeah, what I'm hearing from yourself and Eva is that it's a kind of a common experience, a shared experience for us, particularly as women, that for whatever reason it might be, there's often a thing that others will just not see us for all that we are. For all, they'll maybe see an aspect and reduce us to that one part, and not see that there's so much more to us than that. Yes, thank you for sharing that. And time is short, so I'm just going to go to my next question, which is, if someone is feeling invisible sitting here tonight, what would you want them to take away from this book? I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you want to take away?
What I want to say is, first of all, you are not invisible. You are very visible. You're present. You're here. You have a voice. You are someone. You are someone to be loved, to be valued. You have worth. And you have the ability to stand up and speak out and tell the world who you are, as Vivian is doing now through her book. And you have the ability to do that. And not only the ability, you have the right to do that. I didn't want to be known as the one with the foot.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes.
What does that mean? Have a name. I'm a person. So I am learning, I'm on that journey, that journey of loving, healing, respecting, and being me. With 2 feet.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And I love that. So I hope you guys have taken that in. There's some powerfully spoken words there. So I'm going to send a question to you, Claire.
I haven't tried it yet, but what I would say is find your voice through the journey. Yeah, because that's your voice speaking to yourself first, before perhaps then you feel safe enough to share it with other people. And then I come back to what you raised, Jasmine, with the 3 A's as well. Affirm it. There's a lot of tips throughout the book around kind of affirmations. I strongly believe in affirmations. I have signs of affirmations all over my house, but the acting and the accountability, and again moving from a space of invisibility to visibility, comes from finding someone that can hold you to account. So yeah, that would be the advice that I would take.
And hugely empowering when you take that step. Scary, but it's hugely empowering.
So my really last question now. Can you sum up the book in one sentence?
Wow.
This is them on the cuff, sorry guys, I didn't give you a heads up on this one.
Exactly.
So this is just going to come from your heart. You could sum it up in one sentence. People are thinking, I'm thinking about getting the book. Sum it in one sentence that helps them understand what they're going to be reading, what they're going to get from it, whatever it, what would you sum it out to be?
The invisible girl is a tool for your healing, for your growth, and for your empowerment.
Healing, growth, empowerment. Healing, growth, empowerment. Love it. Thank you. And Claire.
I would say pain has purpose, I think. That was mentioned by someone else, and I looked at my notes, and I think it's true. And it is totally beyond a memoir. Like, it's a book that won't just sit on the shelf, something that you can continue to come back to. I've already had a little bit of a moan at Vivian. I was like, there was not enough space for me to write things. And this particular book, I've got folded pages and highlighter pens. So perhaps the book 2 might have a space where you can actually journal in the book.
Yes.
Calling it into existence.
Yes.
I love that. Pain has a purpose. We often try and shy away, we said it earlier in the day, we often try and shy away from pain, and I think it's something that you may have said, Hanifa, which alluded to just sitting in those uncomfortable spaces, and that's something I've had to hold myself to. I think when you've suffered trauma, when you've had a lot of pain, you're just like, I don't need no more pain, like, let me just be pain-free, right? You want to get away from it, but actually the way that we heal and the way that we grow is by learning to sit in those uncomfortable spaces. I shared with Vivian this week, and I will just share with you before I hand back the mic. I learned this week that there are apparently 2 types of pain, and I can't remember who said around this, right? But trust me, someone said it, right? There are 2 types of pain. There's clean pain and there's dirty pain. I've never heard of this before. Clean pain and dirty pain. Dirty pain is the pain that just hurts you, and it's to no avail. It doesn't benefit you, it doesn't help you, it probably damages you and diminishes you in some respect. But clean pain is what will help you to grow. And so this book will help you to identify the dirty pain versus the clean pain. And the pain that you were referring to, Claire, is that clean pain. The pain that if we will sit in that space, we will grow. And so I encourage you, Vivian is here with some copies. If you haven't got your copy of the book, Vivian is selling them. They are available, and guess what? She'll even sign it for you. And even if you have got a copy like I am, I'm bringing my copy all the time. So you can do the same. I just want to salute Vivian once again, and I'm going to hand the mic back to Hanifa. Thank you, ladies, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Wow. So Q&A. Okay. Good. Okay. Get something from the Q&A and from the singing and so on. We're coming to time. We're now 4 o'clock. So Adelaide, I don't know if we're going to have time for your second song. Is that okay? It would have been great. But we need to go and get your album when it comes out. That's what we need to do.
I have got an album out.
You got it out?
Yeah.
Well, tell us what it is now.
In the group,
Yeah.
the book will
Yeah.
put
Thank you.
your links and stuff, so
Yeah.
you can check out your stuff, please.
Yeah.
So we're right on time now, and I love this. So we're right on time to do the program. And I hope it's been helpful for all of us here. I have certainly been. We're going to spend the last few minutes talking again to each other, doing a bit more networking, and because we can't just walk way up them stairs, finish now, walk way up them stairs. Let's get together, let's share some numbers, let's talk to each other, okay? But there is someone else in this room here who doesn't know we're going to ask them to speak, but I'll do that in a second. But I wanted to just check in with everyone. How are you feeling now? How's everyone feeling? Feeling okay? Yeah. You feel as though you are informed and a little bit more empowered empowered now to go forward and have a look at yourselves and have a look at your relationships and how your life is at the moment, and maybe have a rethink about where we're going. You feel able to think about that? Okay, if it's just a seed, sometimes it only takes a seed. And it may germinate in a year or two, but if it's in a year or two and it comes up roses as it were, then that's beautiful. Okay. Obviously, we want everyone to get the book who hasn't got it, so please do that. And I want to give thanks to no, please go ahead.
Can we purchase by card?
Afterwards, networking, you can all come here. I've got the QR code and I can sign your
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you. Thanks for passing that. Yeah, and so I just wanted to thank everyone thank you all for coming here this afternoon. Thanks for everyone who's taken part and said a word, sang a word. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the photographers doing your thing. I don't know how you set them up. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that. And obviously we want to thank the people upstairs for the spread that they've put on. And thank you all for making the journey here today to share in Vivian's book launch. Can someone bring that down? Thank you all for doing that. And while we're doing that, just wanted to invite someone to come up. I've been told that there's someone in the room called Martin. Oh, Martin. Martin, I believe you have a role here with Vivian. I believe you. Yeah. I believe you're Vivian's mentor. So good to see you. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And
Okay. I might have too much to say.
That's right.
Let me see if I know how
Yeah.
Do I need one? No, I don't need one, but I'll try and do the project. First of all, wow, congratulations to all of us for actually making it. I was tied in with some other things, but I said to Vivian, I said I'm going to make it work somehow. And normally I don't make it work for a lot of people. So if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But I felt like this was a special time. Many years ago, many years ago, maybe the best part of 4 or 5 years ago, Vivian and I had some discussions about what she would like to do and how she would like to get out there. And I felt like the environment around her wasn't as supportive of where she was trying to go. So I was the one who was doing a little bit of the rough talk. I'd be upset. I'd be like, no, I can't have it. You need to be out there, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I understand, but the way the situation is set up. And I was like, I don't care, because you have so much to give. And so you have to understand, for me, this is a full circle moment. For there to be a physical book, the journey behind it is literally the invisible girl becoming visible. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, this is the right thing to do. And you know, sometimes people go, oh, maybe it's the right time. I feel like whatever time she would have done it would have been the right time. Yeah. But I'm glad that it's happened now. Yeah. Because you know, when you decide you want to do something great, you want to do something big, you want to help people, you want to support people, you want to empower people, that's where you meet some of the greatest resistance. Because you're meeting up with mindsets, you're meeting up with people's limitations, you're meeting up with lack of growth, people's frustrations, people's angers, people's traumas. You're meeting a lot of things. And for me, helping people through that type of journey, I've seen it all. I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot of detail. But for her to have written this book and put it together, she used to write devotionals. If you're Vivian's friend, you'll know. When I saw the devotionals at that time, I said, you need to write a book. That was the time I started. I was fully believing. I was like, yeah, we're gonna write a book. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. And she's like, yeah, all right, mate. Let's just stick to the WhatsApps. But I was already here.
Yeah.
And that's the curse of being visionary in any capacity is that you're seeing the end product long before sometimes even people are ready. But one thing I like about Vivian is you talk to her, she goes away, she thinks about what is said, and then she goes, how do I make it work? How do I build? How do I add the layers that are required to get to that expected end? And that takes a visionary. So we see things from completely different angles, but at the end of the day, we still get up to the same location. And she's shown so much prowess, always been like an entrepreneur mind. She's brave. She's braver than I am. This is not a gas. I'll be like, oh yeah, maybe we can do something local. Vivian will be like, hey, we're gonna get in touch with Nickelodeon. I'm like, who do you know in Nickelodeon? And then next thing you know, oh yeah, Nickelodeon got back to me. What do you mean, Nickelodeon? She makes those things that seem very far away from being possible. She'll overnight almost. Then you hear and you're like, wait, so I should have. No, I ain't got it like that. I have to remind myself that she's cut different, and it's empowering that different. That's what keeps someone like her going. It's never been about whether she's going to take the glory for anything. It's always been about how it's going to work for the benefit of everyone involved. And I have such respect for how she considers people. Even with the book, she said, when I'm writing this book, I'm careful about how I'm bringing the story across, and I'm asking people. To me, I'm like, why are you so unsure of yourself? But there's something that she's looking at, a detail that she's looking at, that's supposed to fill in the gaps for people who are looking for healing. She's not trying to destroy one set of people and then build another. She's like, how do I build everybody? And that takes that takes architecture, that takes design, that takes skill, that takes creativity. And I like the fact that she spends that time exploring that. So I consider it an honor that you've reached this stage. This was a dream, it was an argument, it was a conversation, and now we have a manifestation. So I guess what I want to say to you is well done for producing something that can multiply your efforts across the world. And then to those of you who are reading, I'd like to say, well, the challenge is now on you. How do you multiply something that you're doing and get it across the world? Because if she's gonna do it, none of us have excuses. Does that kind of make sense? You don't have to do the book, but whatever you do has to multiply and go across the world. If you think of it like that, then you will challenge yourself, and then it matters who's in the room with you when you're having these discussions. If you're around naysayers, quite frequently your dreams die. Right? And that's one thing we don't admit to ourselves enough. We talk about our dreams, but we talk about them around people who are not going to accelerate those dreams. And if your dream is about impact, then you need to be around people who are intentionally wanting to be about impact. There's no such thing as automatic. I can tell you, we've had to fight to be friends because there were people who were like, no, can't speak to him. I'm like, what do you mean can't speak? I done. And I realized it's that when you have catalysts in your life, some people don't want to see things speed up. You've got to be honest with yourself. And I've gone through that big phase too, where I'm like, okay, who's the catalyst? Who's trying to slow down the rate of this reaction?
Who's the ceiling?
You know what I'm saying? Who's the ceiling? Who's going, relax yourself, you're not there yet, right? I need people who are like, look, you're not there yet, but this is how I think you can get there. I need people who are going to fill in the gaps and go, okay, so I see that you probably don't know how you're doing this, but maybe you need to think about this. And we're shuffling the decks. They're constantly soundboarding, constantly bouncing ideas. That's what you need. Without that, where are you going? Because there's some people just happy to handcuff you and hold you. And you'll be like, I have dreams, you know. I have dreams. Joseph had a dream. And all it took was for somebody to remember him.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? All it took, it wasn't, you know, but whilst he was in the prison, he changed the tone of the conversation. So if the people around you constantly and you're trying to cut down what you're doing, you're already in the wrong space level. But if you get around people who are like, you know, I've been thinking I want to do this as well, and start soundboarding. Start being the soundboard for the other person. Build, argue, try. And what happens is through all that building, arguing and trying, at least you're around people who are saying forward motion. So, because you know, most of us are like, I don't like conflict, I don't want to fight with anybody. Meanwhile, the people you don't want to fight with are already fighting with you. So you'd rather be fighting with, and they're building, right? So you'd rather be fighting with people who are like, no, you know, I don't agree with what you said. No, I don't agree with what you said. Okay, but I see what you're saying. Then that's a better kind of build. It's what was it? You called it a clean pain, and to me, you know, like the clean pain is it's an option that I like. But clean pain is me having a difference with you, and then we find a way to build past that. Dirty pain is how do I keep your head immersed in your trouble so that I can feel like I'm floating. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know some people are like, I can already envision the person that needs to go. Okay, sorry to that person, yeah? But remember, even Joseph, in the fact that he had a dream, still found a way to help his family. So even if it's goodbye for now, doesn't mean goodbye forever. I'm just saying, but there's a time period where your dream has to have time to manifest. You have to be in the right rooms, talking to the right people. And you guys have all chosen the option of being in a room, in quotes, full of strangers, friends, connects, family, so that you can just hear something different. So you've already taken the first step. But guess what? As soon as you walk up those stairs and you leave this place, all your worries will come back. Oh, see, by the way, you didn't do this and you didn't do this. Talk about your dream. What book? You don't even have anything. You know what I'm saying? You're not even like so-and-so, but so-and-so, at least she had help. She was talking to Martin and you don't even have... Find the Martin. Stop excusing yourself from having to do the hard work of looking for the people who are going to help your dreams. We all have to look. He said, seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall open. He didn't say stand and the door will open. He said knock. So there's a physical action you got to take for something to happen on the other side. And if you've been taking action for so long, you've been around the wrong people. So I'm honored to be around someone like Vivian. She's shown proof, she's shown capacity, shown class throughout the whole process. And I just want to encourage you. It's time to live your dream. Don't be invisible. Well done, Vivian. So proud of you. Well done.
Wow, that's an empowering and encouraging endorsement there. Thank you so much, Martin. Look, we are wrapping up now. Is there anyone in the room that wants to say anything?
Buy the book!
Very subtle, though. Very
subtle. I'll just be a minute. First and foremost, actually, I want to speak from a perspective of family because I grew up with Vivian. And you know, just listening to you, Vivian, talk about everything, your experiences, it made me understand the kind of person. I don't forget things. I still remember that 11 years old Vivian, the way she was. If you'd allow me, Vivian, to be just go for a bit, so that I want people to get the picture of the person Vivian was. Vivian was a quiet child. If you ask her anything, she'll always say, I don't know. I don't know if you remember that. You always say, I don't know. She didn't want to put herself out there. And that's how much, and you know, just seeing her put her feelings in a book and being able to talk right now, so overwhelming. I was just crying, I was sobbing. I was like, who is this? Because, you know, Vivian, you've just done so well for yourself. And this family that you've surrounded yourself with, people who are going to bring you up, you know, that are going to build you, that are going to see the best in you, you know, that are not going to judge you. I mean, this is so amazing. I thought, I know, I can't live here without saying all this. Because I'm speaking from perspective of family. I know these things. I know even the deeper things from when we're growing up and you know everything. And I know some people might say, maybe she's a problem child, she wants to be, you know. But you understand what she was fighting, the demons she had to fight in her. I've gone through that myself, so I could resonate with all that. I also got family that I don't even talk to right now, that I've chosen to love from afar, you know. So I see you, Vivian, you know, I just see, you know, everything just came into light right now. And I realized how much one person can be so misunderstood, not because of maybe she's acting out or she's doing this, but because of things that she's gone through, the traumas. They have built her to be this person who's guarded, who's made boundaries, you know, who's built a wall around herself, you know, protect herself from all these other things. And people would mistaken all this and say, oh, she's like this, oh, she's like this. And we're quick to do that. We're quick to do that, to give labels to people and not understanding, not trying to find out, why did that person do that? Or why is this person acting this way? So, Vivian, this book that you've written, it's a gift. It's a gift to everyone. I'm also someone who's suffering the same thing. I'll tell you, I'm going through the same thing with my mother's family right now. And I was just thinking, I was like, Vivian has just liberated a lot of us. And you being able to say, okay, I want to, someone spoke about you not breaking other people, but building, coming, you know, because some people still think, oh, maybe she's trying to, you know, break us, expose us for doing this and that and that and that. It's not about that, it's not about you, but she's trying to bring the best of herself and to also liberate people who are also going through the same thing. You've just liberated me right now. I haven't read the book, but I know. And I'm going to talk about this book because I'm trying to, you know, do social media and everything. I'm going to talk about this book and trying to get people to buy this book because I know a lot of people are going to find healing from this book. So well done, baby girl. Well done. And I like this version of you. I love it. I love it for you. And we go through all these things to shape us. To if, like what you say, that if you've not even lost the children, you know, that touched me. That you were going to love them in a different way. You were going to bring them in this world to fill up a gap where you were missing. You know, you seeing things in that perspective and not saying, why me, God, and what was just liberating. Say, you know, sometimes we're quick to blame people about our things and stuff like that, but you just reading beyond, seeing beyond, you know. Thank you, baby girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know what? We do need to wrap up now, so I'm going to just say, anyone who wants to buy the book, please come and see Vivian over here. Have your conversations as you're packing up and as you're getting ready to go, because we have to vacate this space for someone else who's coming. So thank you once again for joining us, joining Vivian, and for being part of her journey. Thank you. Have a safe journey home. And goodbye.
Are we supposed to still be running now?
I don't know what this is.
Oh, this is the live.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah. This was
Okay.
It was on live.
Oh, right.
Okay, but I don't know whose phone it is,
No,
so I
know.
won't stop it streaming. Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Thank you
worries.
so much for your words. Thank you. God bless you too.
This is a
She's trying to hide it back.
AKA Big Things at One. Make sure you text me, let's keep in touch. This is us, man. We're just networking out the place. Thank you. Say your name again. Oh, sorry, this lady is amazing. She's on TED Talk. I'm going to come back to her in a minute. I know she's eating. She's done a very good job today. Extremely good job today in hosting. Okay, I'm done. You sure? Okay. I've got to run to the loo. I'll just tell them who you are. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So hi there. My name's Hanifa, and I've just been hosting Vivian Moyo's book launch. It's been a wonderful event, really, really great. There have been people here who've made some wonderful tributes to Vivian. We've seen her, many of us have seen her on her journey to get to where she is now. She needs to be proud of herself. We certainly are proud of her, and we're going to be following her and being with her every step of the way on her journey. So if you get the chance, get hold of The Invisible Girl. I'm sure she's going to have it all over social media. The Invisible Girl, the book is called. So wonderful. I've read it a couple of times myself. Go for it. There's a lot of learning in there. There's a lot of pain, but there's also a lot of learning in this book here. She talks about her own experience, and she shares tools and tips for our personal growth and our development. So, The Invisible Girl by Vivian Moyo. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now.
Yeah, so the park
So Dave Martin Movement.
Dave Martin Movement.
And where was the Blessed Souls?
Oh, Blessed Souls. This would have been 2012, South London somewhere.
I've got annual motivational speaker.
All of that together.
And you're a coach?
Yes.
And what else?
What else do I do? I run a team called UIT Media, Unleash Your Talent. And yeah, we help young people, artists, kind of organize their artistry, get it onto streaming.
I love that.
And we're involved in all of the stuff, YouTube, Instagram.
Good stuff. Okay, so your Instagram is?
UIT Media. UYT Media.
So I'm going to follow that.
Yeah.
And your name is?
My name is Martin Vito, aka King Vito Speaks. So my social media is at King Vito Speaks. And then just reach out and we'll be in touch.
It's because you're going to be motivated, inspired,
all of that,
and innovative. So
all of that. I'm trying to keep up with this lady. Listen, it's been over 10 years.
And he was asking me what's my secret to
what's
looking
the
so young.
secret? Because she's still looking like a smirk. Yum. Anyway.
My secret is that I pass my burdens on to the Lord. Lord.
That's it.
And I don't carry no bad
Listen.
thing.
He's amazing.
Thank you. We are amazing.
Still singing. That's it.
And make sure you follow me on YouTube.
Of course, I'm gonna do all of that
Yeah,
today.
man, all of that.
Yeah, I know what she said. That's all I said. Okay, there's levels to this stuff.
And there you know, there's been some great speaking as well today. Thank you. That's Gary, guys. Do the photography. Big up, and bless up. Let's see who else wants to share. Claudia, do you want to share anything today? Do you want to share anything on my camera today? Zebo is amazing, guys. Can I take a video with you, Zebo? Can I come back? It's live. Yeah, so Zebo is the sister of Vivian Moya, and we're here today at
Her book launch.
The Invisible Girl.
Yes.
And Zebo did some of the
Q&A with her.
Q&A, which was remarkable. Thank you for doing that, setting that space. Big up and bless. I'll see you this week, girl. Claudia, do you want to see it? Is it Claudia?
Claudia, I don't mind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I found the event on Eventbrite, so I don't know Vivian from anywhere, but I thought let me just come because it's in my area, and I've really enjoyed this launch. I think it's a great book from even Vivian's life. It's a great testimony, so I hope everyone gets this book and do follow her on social media. Then yes, your life is phenomenal. So yes, live your best life, and you're able to overcome every challenge. So yeah, God bless you guys. Take care.
Did you get to hear my singing today?
Yes.
Oh, what did you think of the singing? We are amazing.
Happy again.
Oh.
I wish I had like a proper platform where we could have people all the time.
Did you share about what you do though? Karen, I want to take a picture as well.
So I have an organisation, non-profit organisation. It's called Not Ordinary Life. Yeah, we're just launching the online community in a few weeks' time, so you guys are able to join. So yes, No Ordinary Life. Search for us on Google. We're on all social media platforms. Find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and the link is tr.ee/No Ordinary Life all together. So yeah, find us on social media. Take care.
Wow, that sounded good, man. I'm looking forward to listening to the playback. I am going to put my... I know I did... Hopefully it would have picked you up. And if you want to stay in touch, you're welcome to give me a call or share your... what do you call it? Your social medias with me. You're welcome to do that as well.
I'll email you.
Yeah, or no, WhatsApp me. WhatsApp is better. All right, I'm going to go. Text me then.
Yeah, regular text.
And keep networking. We are amazing. Jasmine. Wow, I want you to share a little bit. I might mic you up now. It's getting louder. You can either hold it or you can put it. Let me see if it's on. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound. Let me do a picture with you as well. Telling me, did you see yourself when you were talking?
I did see myself.
Did you see this?
I don't know if I saw that.
You're gonna have to start again.
Oh my Lord.
Just in case, wheel and come again.
Wheel and come again. Oh man, I was just talking to myself the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so I introduced myself. I'm Jasmine Mbai, international keynote speaker and trainer. I run Lead with Difference Global, and I am passionate about empowered and inclusive leadership. I believe that empowerment forms the basis for effective leadership, because when we are empowered, we empower others. And I work with organizations and professionals so that individuals can fulfill their potential and support environments or workplaces where people can do that, or they can thrive. And I came here to support the wonderful Vivian Moyo because she's written The Invisible Girl. And Vivian is testament to the fact that when we do the work, when we empower ourselves, we can then empower others, which is what she's done through her book called The Invisible Girl. And I was really pleased because recently Vivian took the Empowered Score quiz and she came out with a phenomenal score. And I'm like, that's what happens when you're willing to do the work, because she has put in that work to develop herself and to go on that journey so that she can empower others. And yeah, she's doing that oh so well through her book. This was a lovely afternoon where we got to come together and to be open, be honest, to share and to empower and encourage one another. And so I'm really, really pleased to be here and proud to be a part of her celebration. And yeah, I love working with organizations that seek to do that, because you know what, when we empower people, we get the best from them. They can be their best. That means they can then do their best, and then we can have the best. And so, yeah, empowerment is that foundation. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to see Vivian grow. And I myself am on a journey. I don't come from a standpoint of I have arrived, but rather I'm on the journey and I'm sharing what I have learned with others so that they can go further on their journey. Because you know what? That's what life is. And I don't believe in this massive separation of life and work, but actually we're whole people. And when we bring our whole selves to wherever we are, we always show up better. And so that's a little bit about me. And I want to hand over now to somebody else to share about themselves.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. It's been a pleasure to meet you today. Look at Jasmine, so beautiful. And we've done our pictures now. Have we done pictures? Yeah, we did. You did. All right, nice one. So amazing. And you said you're based in Bedford. All right, cool. Well, and it's always great to meet great people.
Definitely, girl.
Looking forward to
shining. I look forward to hearing about the album.
Did you put your social medias in there?
No, I've got a QR code. I'll pop my QR code into the
I'll have to check that.
Yeah.
All right, nice one.
And in connecting the dots, one of the things that I want to do, because I was going to speak to you separately about, is a specific women's project, but like women, criminal justice, access to substance use services. We do an actual program.
Okay, let's do it.
There's a grant out there, and I'm like, ooh, how can we all connect? You know, and get that pathway and diversion. That's what it's called.
Diversity. And there's the women in prison service in Lambeth as well. And there's also one in Camden that does vertical support for women and therapy and so.
So I'm wanting to
come and remember me, honey. I'll support however I can. And
it's been an amazing day.
This is Claire Saint, guys. It's Claire Saint.
Introduce yourself. I've done it. You gotta go now. Be visible.
She
Mommy.
said we were only having a picture
As well, but I want to remember you, so this is a good way, and I always will.
Yeah.
But I just want, and I would love to introduce you to my community as well, because at the end of the day, you are a phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
Mother,
right back at you.
Mother of three.
Mother of three. Grandmother of one. 4-year-old and single parent since the beginning of time, it seems.
And what else? How else would you identify yourself? And thank you for sharing your story today about a little bit of your childhood. That was a glimpse. And
exactly. So coming back to your question about identifying, I do see myself as incredibly strong and resilient.
Yeah.
Because things that I faced from, as I shared. My father died when I was only 2 years old. He was only 32, and he was killed by a drunk driver on his way to work the next morning. But that left my mother with the three of us, and we were all under the age of 10, and we had just moved to a new village in Surrey. But I never felt that I was missing anything because I was just completely embraced with love. And as I say, I knew exactly what happened to my father and I understood what death meant. Although my mum retells a story that I asked where my daddy was. And she said, oh, he's with Jesus. And I hated Jesus for a very long time.
I understand that.
But then I went searching for that. And as I say, kind of resilience isn't
just something that you have, like it's something that grows with you through your experiences, but also the support of other people.
Yeah,
that are
and let's
around
step out
you.
that buffering, because childhood adverse
Yeah.
experiences are real, and if you don't have that buffering and don't have that love, then you can have that adverse effect.
Exactly.
I'm going to switch off in a minute because the camera is getting dark, which means the battery might be dying. But as a fan of me, what would you say about my singing? Because she loves me, I think.
Honestly, I said it earlier. I think you're literally getting better and better. So every time you sing, I get like the hex. Like it's a physical reaction, and I want to hear more. And I've heard you inside venues, like we're quite down in a basement today. I've heard you outside in a massive field. You don't need a microphone. You know, your voice is powerful, but how you convey the words of the song, like I can hear the same song a million times, but how you sing it, it's differently.
And you know what? I love that feedback. That's why I got this, and I thought, and I love you too. So thank you so much for being amazing, and for all you do in the community, and for what you're doing for Vivian as well. Love. Bye guys, we're out of here.